in the beginning of doing a massage, it's very important to connect with the client. A lot of things that I try to use to relax the client or to calm the client down, it's very important that I use the proper kind of oil or cream. Usually I ask the client before if there's anything that's harmful to their skin or irritating that they would or would not like to use, and Peter pretty much said that it's okay to use anything at this point. So what we're going to use is we're going to use shea butter, and I like to use shea butter because it's natural. First of all, it's not irritating. Most people are not allergic to shea butter, and it's very good for the skin. It's very good for the conductivity and smoothness and flow when you want to do massage. Along with that, I like to use any type of aromatherapy like eucalyptus and different things like that. So once again, like I said, what we're going to do is first we're going to connect with the client. So I'm going to apply the shea butter to my hand and make sure it's evenly distributed through my hand. And then, first of all, I'm going to do is press. Both sides evenly. And then basically, it's all about motion. Peter explained earlier that he was having problems with his lower back. Something that's very good to do with a person that has lower back issues or anything that has to do with the spinal cord is to kind of like pull at the base of their head. And they definitely will feel it towards the base. And in the lower back. Do you feel a stretch?
Yes, I do. It's nice.
Okay. Nothing extreme. First of all, he said he doesn't like deep tissue, so it's nothing extreme, but definitely you want to apply enough pressure and enough pull to where they definitely feel it. Once again, this goes along with trying to relax them, trying to connect. And then once you connect with your client, it's good to kind of go into the type of massage that you're implementing. So the type of massage that I'm implementing is sports massage. So I'm going to stretch him out. Pull from the base of the neck so that he feels it all throughout his spine down to the lower back. What I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to work on his neck, because the neck is probably the most important part of any massage because it's the most relaxing, and because it deals with the spinal cord so much, it kind of deals with any neuromuscular, any problems you might have in your back. So what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of turn his head, and we're just going to kind of like pull and stretch. Okay.
It popped.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Pull and stretch. Popping, snapping, and cracking are good indications that you're pretty much doing the right thing, because we're not forcing anything. We're just pulling and stretching, so everything is going back into place pretty much. So I'm going to switch sides. I do both sides with the same amount of pressure, pretty much with the same formality, because what I'm trying to do also is I'm trying to find which area is more tense. So same thing, same pressure, same everything. Even though I feel like this side is tenser than the other side, I'm not going to apply any more pressure than I need to. Because like I said, it's all about relaxing the client, and it's all about kind of finding out how you're going to approach the situation once you find out what's going on. So once I do that, slowly place their head back in place and work both sides at the same time. Same pressure. Same thing. I say whatever you're doing at the time, it's good to do it 2 or 3 times to kind of get an understanding of what's going on. So I'm working his traps out right now, all the way up to the front, to the AC joint, which is connected to his delts and traps, AC joint. So once I do that, now I kind of understand where I need to go from this point. His left side seems to be more stiff than his right side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on the left side, the side that's not as tense, and kind of try to apply much more pressure so that it will take some of the load away from the side that is more tense. Everything is returned to Venus. So everything is from lower part back to the heart. Lower, back up. Help to create the blood flow, oxygen flow, going with the fibers. And in gyms also, when you do curls or when you do any type of exercise that involves your arms, not only are you working your biceps, you're working your forearms. So it's very good to increase the circulation in your forearms. So what I do is I do a neuromuscular modality, which is called needling. And what you're doing is you're kind of grabbing the muscle and you're pulling it, and then you're going over the bottom part. It's almost like you're braiding, okay? So it's kind of like what you're doing. And the great thing about this is it goes all the way down to your fingers. So I'm working his forearms, but I'm also working the connection that goes down to his fingers, because these are longest muscles. So they go all the way down to your carpals, your fingers. So I'm going to work lower to upper, upper to lower. How's that feel?
Very nice.
Okay. So this is another thing that is, it's a shiatsu move. And what you do is you just press. You just press the muscle. You press it. Press, release. Press, release. Press, release. Press, release. Press, release. Okay? All at the same time, I'm pulling at the base of his hand. Okay? So it's press, release. Press, release. Press, release. Other side, press, release, press, release, press, release, press, release. Okay, I'm going to continue to go up the arm, work out the biceps, up to the deltoids. Okay, apply pressure to the forearms, and release. Forearms, release. Once again, this would be the same thing that we would do to the other side to help with circulation in the forearm down to the fingers. So what we're going to work on now is the legs, okay? So draping is very important when you're dealing with the legs. So when I deal with towels, I try to put one over the midsection, and once again, he had one going horizontal over his front part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to comfortably grab the leg, keep the one horizontal where it's at, but the one that's kind of vertical, I'm going to cuff it underneath, okay? Make sure private areas are covered up. And then, once again, I'm going to apply the shea butter to his leg, okay? So it's very important that I evenly distribute it throughout the leg, okay? 1, to relax him. 2, to connect. 3, to find out if there's any areas that I'm going to have to pretty much concentrate on throughout the massage. Very crucial area to the legs is the shins and the calves. Very important to people who exercise because they're constantly pounding. This is taking a lot of load, and with runners, shin splints is very evident. With anybody that sprints or anything, or does any climbing, the calves are very important. So I'm gonna work them at the same time. And what I do is I kind of cuff the calf and put my palms on the shins, and I just pull out. Pull out and press down. Pull out and press down. Pull out, press down. Pull out with my fingers, press down with my palms. All the way down to the Achilles tendon, which is this real hard, tight tendon that connects the bottom of your foot and your calf together. And I stretch. So once again, pull out, push down. Pull out, push down. Pull out, push down. Pull out, push down. And then I stretch. How does it feel?
Very nice.
Last time. Pull out. Press down. Pull out. Press down. Pull out. Press down. It's very important that you use as much of your hand as you can, because the leg muscles are very large. That's probably why you get so tired when you work out those legs, because it's such a large muscle. It takes a lot of energy. So from there, we're going to work our way up to the quads. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue to do the same thing, but I'm going to apply a little more pressure to these muscles because they really, really do get tight. But along with this muscle, I'm going to work the muscle that's on this side. And it's not even a muscle, it's a tendon. They call it the IT band. And it's a tendon that is kind of attributed with the muscle. And it's really, really tight. And that muscle or tendon is connected to your knees all the way up to your hip. And the only reason I'm working on this muscle is because, once again, he said he had lower back problems. You have lower back problems, you have hip problems. You have hip problems, you got IT band problems. You got IT band problems, you most likely got quad problems. Then you have knee problems. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue to work up and down the quads and the IT band. So this is just motion, up and down, with pressure, okay? Very important, okay? Because like I said, this muscle is very tight. IT band, same thing. But you don't want it to be too uncomfortable. If you see your client flinch or that they look like they're uncomfortable, just come off the pressure a little bit. Okay. Another good thing to do is maybe apply your knuckles and spread. Okay. Just spread the muscle out. Pressure and just spread. Just spread the muscle out. Spread. Once again, use as much as your hand as you can, because it's a large muscle. Okay? And you can apply a lot more pressure if you use your knuckles, your palm, maybe, your thumb, the whole part of your thumb. Okay? And what I like to do here also is I like to grab and let go. Grab, let go, grab, let go. Grab, let go, grab, let go. That way I can get the IT band and the quad at the same time. Okay. Once we loosen that up and you feel a little release, we're going to go into stretching his hip out. And the reason we're doing that is because, once again, if you have lower back problems, you most likely have hip issues. So when we stretch his hip out, it's going to relieve some pressure off of his lower back and hopefully make him feel a little bit better. So what we're going to do is we're going to comfortably grab the leg underneath the knee, okay? And then, once again, draping is very important. So I'm going to take his knee and keep it close to my body, okay? Because we don't want his knee to pop out of alignment. So if you can, just put your arm by your side, maybe grab onto this towel. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to press him back. Okay? And you'll feel when it's too much. Or he'll tell you, look, that's too much. Or by the way he breathes, you'll know you're going too far. And try to go on the exhale. Breathe in your nose. Very important, so you're not fighting. And breathe out. I'll do it 3 times. Breathe in. And then breathe out. Okay? Relax. And then what we're going to do is we're going to kind of like swivel his hip. We're going to swivel it in. And then we're going to swivel it out. It's a ball and socket. Your hip is like a ball inside of a socket. So the better movement, the better mobility, the more relief. Okay? So we're going to do it 3 times in and then out. All the time holding the knee. Okay? In and then out. Okay? Make sure you grab on. Okay? And then what we're going to end with is pulling his leg out. Okay? We don't have to do that too many times, but 3 times is good. 3 times is a charm. And pull it out. Okay? Always from the base of the knee out. Okay? So now we have Peter on his stomach. And what we're going to do is we're going to work on his back. And once again, this is a very large area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply the shea butter to his back. Connecting, kind of confirming which areas we're going to work on. And, once you turn the client over, you have to relax them again, because before they were sedated, now they're kind of back to the beginning stages. So we're just going to try to relax them, apply the shea butter evenly throughout his back. Now, there's a muscle that goes right along the spine, and you want to kind of apply pressure to that and then kind of release. Apply pressure, and then at the end, you're going to release into the lower back, and then come back the same way and release and go down the shoulder blades. So that's a good way to start when you're on the back, is to do that movement, because that right there alone will relax your client and give you a better reference on what areas or what side of the back that you want to focus on first. So down the back, release into his lower back, and come right back up, out to the shoulders, and at the AC joint, which is the connection from his shoulders and his arms. Good point of reference. It has to go somewhere. Massage is mainly about muscle displacement, so if you give it a point of release, that's pretty much where it's going to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on one side of his back and help relieve any type of tension he has. But what I want to do is I kind of want to focus on the lower back now, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to it's a stretch, pull, stretch, pull, stretch, pull. That's kind of like what we're going to do. So I'm going to start at the lower back, okay? And I'm going to pull up and out, okay? So I regroup, come back in, pull up and out, okay? All the way from the spine. Everything's away from the spine. Never press down on the spine. So it's out. Bring it, regroup, push down and out. Regroup, down and out, okay? When you regroup, no pressure, okay? But once you come back, apply pressure and out to the arms. Okay? Let's flow. So regroup, push down and out. Okay? You can use your knuckles, you can use your palms, whichever is comfortable for you. Be careful in rotating your wrist. That would really not be a good idea for a therapist who wants to do this for a long time. So push down and out. Okay? Push down and out towards the arms. Let it go. Okay? Another good way of doing this, once again, if you use your knuckles, just push out. Pressure down and out. Okay? Push your foot weight down and just press out. But learn how to put your pressure down, but then just relax. Okay? And bring it out. Down, pressure, and then out. Down, pressure, out. Down, pressure, out. Okay? So once we press out, another good thing for the lower back is to stretch it out, okay? So one side goes up, other side goes down. One side goes up, other side goes down. One side goes up, other side goes down. Work your way all the way down the hips, okay? Come back and do the same thing. You really don't have to do you don't have to do this that many times, okay? Just maybe a couple of times. Down and out, down and out, down and out, okay? That's a very good stretch for the lower back, okay? We created like a stream up and down the back. So what we're going to do now is we're going to focus on the scapula again. Remember the scapula, the bone, the back of the back, where the shoulders connect, the muscles in your back connect, and also this is where this is what they call the rotator cuff, the muscles that are connected to the scapula. So what we're going to do is we're going to apply friction to those muscles that connect to the sides and the base of the scapula. Okay. Now what this does is it creates a lot of heat, okay, within the muscle, okay, and that's going to bring attention to that area. Once again, blood flow, oxygen, all those different things. It's going to help relax them as well. So all it is back and forth, okay, across muscle fibers, not actually going with them. You're going across the fiber, okay, all the way around the scapula. And then after that, what I do is I grab the arm, okay, try to do it as comfortable as possible, okay. If this really bothers your client, don't do it. But if you can get it in their hand on their back at any point to where it can relax, then you're okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press from his elbow. I would pull on his hand, but this seems kind of tight, okay. So I'm going to push on his elbow, and I'm going to put another hand underneath the scapula. This is the best way to get underneath the scapula, okay? Because what you do is when you put the hand up, the scapula sticks out, okay? So that way you can go underneath it, okay? So the more I pull this way, the further up it goes. So I'm going to push, and I'm just going to stretch it out, okay? So it's like pull forward, and I'm going to press out with my palms, okay? Pull forward, press out. I'm going to do it one more time. You're going to go up the scapula to the shoulders, okay? Up, push, stretch, okay? Now relax, okay? And more friction. Not so much as the first time. Put the hand on the back, okay? Once again, you do this 3 times, okay? Push, press, push, press, push, press, okay? Usually, after you go up and down the back, you find the area which pretty much is giving you the most resistance. and you want to pretty much target that area and kind of stretch it out, okay? You can either target that area and stretch it out and apply more pressure to the area that's not as tense. So it's pretty much up to you as a therapist which area you want to work on first. So I pretty much want to work on the area that is not as intense and kind of bring attention to that area and bring less attention to the area that is really, really tight. So what I like to do is I like to, when I stretch it out, I kind of like start on both ends of the back, towards the shoulder and lower back. And what I do is I meet towards the shoulder blade. So not too much pressure, just enough to kind of pull from one side to the other. Just grabbing the top part as a reference point and bring everything up. Once again, the best type of movement is always back towards the heart. Blood flows faster that way. Back up. So I use my knuckles because of kind of what it does to the muscle. Kind of separates the fibers a little bit. You don't have to. You can use your palm. You can even use your elbow if you want to. But I like to use my knuckles. So press down and kind of bring it all up into the shoulders and kind of around. You can go down the arms if you want to. Once again, lower base of the back. Hold your hand at the shoulders as a reference and come up. Okay. Another good thing is to just, as fast as you can, create that heat, create that friction, bring blood, bring flow. Those are the two healing properties: blood, oxygen to the muscles. Okay. Now, from the biceps, I'm going to work my way up to the deltoids, to the shoulder joint. So, once again, I'm going to pull on this arm, okay? Just let it relax. And I'm going to apply pressure on this bicep. Not too much. Press and kind of pull forward. I'm going to press deltoid, and along with that, I'm going to stretch it out, okay? And then I'm just going to put it back just to help them relax. Because if you have tight shoulders, tight biceps, that can be really, really extreme and kind of, tight, okay? So once again, I'm going to press down and forward, down, forward, and then I'm going to stretch. Okay? Let them relax just for a minute. Apply some more pressure. All this is flow. All this is flow. Once again, press down on the bicep, down on the shoulder, and then I'm going to stretch it and pull them out. Okay? And we're going to relax. Like I said, 2 to 3 times on each side, each modality, each technique would be good to manipulate the muscle and to help the person relax more and get the best benefit they can from that particular technique. So from working the deltoids, what we're going to do is we're going to continue to focus on stretching the shoulder joint out and releasing it. Kind of stretching it out and releasing it. And then, once he's relaxed, I'm going to pull him across his body, and I'm going to grab him right at his scapula, okay? The reason I do this is for comfort for him. Also, it gives me an understanding of what part of his rotator cuff or shoulder is tight. So what I'm going to do is if I don't listen to him breathe, I'm going to breathe on my own and just push over. I'm going to Give them a minute and push over. Give them a minute and push over. While all the time holding onto the scapula. A lot of problems that people have is either wing scapula or they have discomfort right underneath the scapula. So you don't want to do anything to irritate that. So always go back to a relaxed position after you do a particular modality. Okay, the scapula is a bone that's at your back, okay? It's really considered your shoulder. That's really considered your shoulder. It goes from the middle of the back to probably the upper part of what you consider your shoulder. And it's a triangle-shaped bone that is attached to several muscles in your back. So a lot of discomfort comes from that particular area. So I'm just going to continue to stretch him out, okay? Once again, we're going to do it 3 times. We're not trying to manipulate, but we're just trying to bring some comfort to the middle part of his back and shoulders. I'm going to relax him. And what I do is I keep my hand on the scapula and sometimes even raise him up as I bring his arm back and relax. What we're going to do is bring their arms back up, okay? Same thing. Keep the same hold on it, okay? Because it's just as good coming up as it is going down. Same thing. Grab the hands, push out towards AC joint, and then relax. Okay. Now, when you do massages in the gym, most likely a person has to leave the gym. It's most likely a corporate setting. They maybe have to go back to work. They have to go home or anything like that. So in order to revive your client, what you do is tapotement. And tapotement is kind of like rapid movement, okay? It's very light. You use your wrist, and it's a free motion with your hands. You can either do choppy, you can do cuppy, or you can do like you're beating some drums. So we're going to do all the above. So we're going to start off the lower back, okay? Okay, it's sort of like cupping. Okay, very light. It's my wrist. That's all I'm moving, my wrist. Okay? Up one side, down the other. Okay? Now, whenever you want to change up, change up. Once again, it's all in the wrist. Now, cupping. Now, I always start at the base, going up. Okay? Okay. One more time. There you go. Thank you. And thank you.